Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT in the building. The show today is sponsored by the Dollar Shave Club, the no-nonsense razor that gets delivered right to your door, all right? Get your first box, usually worth £12, for just £5. We're going to put a code in the description, right? It's AFTV10, and you get a further 10% discount off of that, yeah? See, that's what we do. We give people stuff, yeah? You did something for that Dollar Shave Club, didn't you?
Yeah. They're right. The razors are really, really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you use one today, though?
No. Look at me. Oh, yeah. No.
Anyway, listen.
Yeah, man.
Good that you're in the building. You've been behaving yourself? You haven't. You haven't been behaving yourself, man. Oh, my God.
No. Well, do you know what? No. Actually, let me refrain that. I have been behaving.
You haven't.
I have been. I've just been righting some wrongs and I've been correcting a few people.
I saw that Twitter spat.
Oh, yesterday. That one. That was good. It was time to put a few people in place. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm your personal secretary and I'm going around fighting all your battles. And it's just, no, do you know what?
Fight no battles
I know I don't need to, but do you know what, right? When I see something that I know is false and when I see things that are completely fabricated to try and gain momentum for their own gain and nothing else but to try and discredit people for no reason whatsoever, it winds me up. And I see all this stuff about, you know, the change of name and the rebranding last week and everything else, and that wound me up. And the stuff that was coming out with it, the newspaper reports were based on one person in particular spreading a bullshit rumor over Twitter, and then it moves to this whole fiasco with the Twitter feed and everything that happened over the Chelsea game, which you have no control over because you employ someone to manage your Twitter feed whilst the game is on. An employee of this company then decides he's gonna piss around and take the piss and completely try and wind up Arsenal fans, which is, it's out of your control. You know what I mean? And then I see people just jumping straight on the bandwagon. Oh, look at this, Arsenal fan TV. They're not really Arsenal fans. They're Man United fans. They're this, that, the other. And then I see this thing and I see a video come up of you and, you know, the fact that you were raised around Luton.
A video?
Yeah, a video of you when you was talking about, back in the day when you was talking about how you was raised in Luton and when your first games was when your Arsenal games was in your early 20s. And
that's rubbish. I never said it was in my early 20s.
You know, but this is what they're saying.
Who said that?
This is what they're saying.
The video?
No, this is what they're saying. They're saying that you've been an Arsenal fan since you was 22 years old. Blah, blah, blah. And then some people were even standing up and saying, well, hold on a minute. Robbie must be in his 50s now. Although you don't look it. I'm trying to get a pay rise. But listen, and it's just like,
I didn't even see this video.
No, all of the stuff that I see, and then he then started on me, and I thought, you know what? I've had enough of this bullshit and this rubbish that this guy comes out with. So I went and put online some of the things that he gets up to and the way he mocks the Hillsborough disaster.
You know, that stuff about mocking the Hillsborough fans is one of the most vile things I've seen.
Exactly. And he's got the cheek to turn around and say that Man United fan run. I'll tell you something, I'd rather a Tottenham fan run the account than spew that kind of bullshit.
Which again, that is bullshit. And the thing is about it, but you know, with me, yeah, we're a bit different in that, is that I remember a while ago, I was chatting to somebody who's quite successful, and they built their business from zero. They built it from nothing. And I know this guy for years. I'm not going to say he is, but I know this guy from years. And I remember back in the day, me and him, like, he's a real street guy. Yeah, proper street guy. And that's where I know him from back in the day, right? And he's a very, very successful guy now. And I remember him saying to me, pulled me to one side one day and he said, Robbie, because as this thing starts to grow, what you're doing, because I see it starting to take off, you've done really, really well. But he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, you are now going to start having a lot of haters. And he said, it's a natural thing. And he goes, you're going to get these people sniping. They're going to try and attack you. They're going to try and do things to bring you down. And he says, you know what you have to do? With a lot of these things, you have to ignore it. He goes, and do not let these people derail you from what you're trying to do. So he goes, like that guy now, I could have ruined this guy, right? The thing that he printed, which was a copy and paste thing that had nothing to do, I could have, but why divert all my energy where I'm trying to work? The season's just started. I'm trying to work on getting more videos up. We started doing lots more coverage now before games, so it's been going really, really well. And I'm like, I don't want to waste my energy on this guy. If he wants to sit at home, or even others out there, they want to sit at home and all day long, make videos, do this, do that. You know what? In a way, it's good. They bring a lot of publicity to what we're doing, and you know, we're still there. You know what I mean? There's a saying my mum always used to tell me, right? She goes, in Jamaica, she goes, boy, when they stop talking about you, that's when you need to worry. So, you know, so I really...
Just let me fight the battles.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. I
know. The thing is, you know what? I don't need to. You know.
No, the thing is, you know what? As I said, I'm good. You know.
I know you're good. And the thing is, I've had.
It's only you have to. You also have to weigh it up. Yeah. If you get like, you know, I've seen this before at games, right? I never forget there was a game that I was at where all day long, pure love, people coming up. Keep up the good work, this, that. I love what you do. Even some people that didn't like what I do said, listen, it's not really for me, but I respect you and stuff like that. And then right at the end of the day, I had some guy come up with, you know, running up his mouth, gobbing off. And I thought to myself, you know what? Who's this? You know, you feel I just put one on someone.
Yeah.
And then something said to me, Robbie, don't be stupid, man. Look at all the love you've had all day and you're going to make this one guy come and ruin your day. And that's what it's like sometimes. We can't avoid it. I think every person out there that's doing something that's successful has got people hating on him. But let's look on it. Normally, that person that's hating, they're normally the same type of people, aren't they? Nothing's carrying on for them. Nothing's really happening for them.
Yeah.
They're not doing nothing themselves. They may be in a job they hate or whatever, so they find somebody else to hate.
It's convenient as well that this it's convenient that this person as well writes blogs. Oh, need some publicity, do you? Because your blogs are so shit, no one reads them.
I wouldn't want the sort of publicity.
Yeah, exactly. Right you got publicity, but I don't think it's the publicity you wanted. And at the end of the day, I feel no way about what I did yesterday.
Well, I'm glad you haven't mentioned his name because we ain't giving him no.
No, I ain't giving him no airtime.
And those sort of guys, you know what I mean? Keep writing your things, man. It's all good, you know what I mean? Right? Keep doing your videos.
Exactly.
What was it? I started supporting Arsenal at 22.
Yeah. Started supporting Arsenal at 22. I
love these guys, man.
I love this game.
You know what? I remember there was there's people saying things like, oh, he's only just started. What was it? I saw one time. I'd only just started supporting Arsenal since we moved to the Emirates, right? And then there was a picture that was put out of me at Highbury. I can't remember which.
I think it was the final game of you in the clock end.
Was it the final game?
Yeah, it was the final game at Highbury, and you was in the clock end, standing there with your arms out.
And they're like, that can't be. It's copy and paste. I'm laughing, man. I go,
that's
you know
what
how long I've been. Some of these people that shoot off their mouth, I never used to see. They carry on. They say things like they used to move around their firms, and I never used to see them back in the day. I know the first time seeing. Listen, I'm not going to know and remember everybody from back in the day. I knew a few people. I didn't know.
That's the one thing that winds me up when someone says, "I don't remember you." I'm like,
"You're not going to remember everything."
Do you remember everyone? If you weren't specifically looking for someone, how do you remember? My dad's been going since 1948. Do you remember him? No. You don't know nothing about him. Some people keep themselves to themselves, and that's it. And then I remember the not documentary, but like the interview that I did with Kevin Campbell. And we was doing something, and I knew Kevin Campbell from when he was playing at Arsenal, and I was really young. And he even went on camera and said, "I remember you as a kid that used to sneak into the players' bar." And we was reminiscing, and he was like, you was about this big, like 12, 13 years old. You was a pain every week, coming up, autographs, sneaking in the players' bar, past security. And it was like,
you still do that now.
That's still me now, innit? So, you know what I mean? It blows that myth that, you know, that we only just turned up.
Some guy said to me, he goes, was saying to me one day, he goes, oh, he's chatting about when we got to the Champions League final. And then he goes, oh, yeah, but you wouldn't, I don't think you'd kind of know that, Robbie, because you just, I said, what are you talking about? I was there. And he didn't even go. He said he was in Paris, couldn't get a ticket. I go, yeah, I was at the game. What are you on about? I didn't remember. But I was there with my brother. What are you talking about? I got the ticket for my brother. Oh, was you there? No, what these guys on? But listen, that's all by the by. Who cares, man? You know what I mean? It's all about.
I don't want I had to do.
Just do what we do. It's not my style. I mean, I just leave them up to it, man. Let them get on with it. You know what I mean? If I'm the person that they want to waste half of their day on, when I'm not wasting even 1 second on them, that's, you know. Actually, I'm wasting a few seconds on them now. Let's get straight into this podcast now, right? The game last week against Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm still, as I still think about the game, I'm still gutted. I think a fair result in that game would probably have been a point. No, actually, we should have won the game.
In the first half.
The first half of that game, we had so many chances. We scored 2 great goals, but we had so many open, easy chances that we messed up. And I just, you know, I still keep thinking about it and thinking, the chance that Aubameyang missed, the chance that Mkhitaryan missed, the chance that Iwobi missed. And they were all literally the same type of chance.
There was one that Aubameyang missed just after it was 2-2.
Yeah.
Brushed the outside of the post.
Yeah.
Do you know
and I was just like, and the thing about it is that the 2 players that you want some of those chances to fall to are Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. So skillful, so clinical, and they missed them. But I'm just thinking, on another day, we could have won that game. How good would that have been if we won it? But ultimately, another defeat.
I know.
Hazard came on. We were running out of steam. Each kind of changed it, and they got that final goal. Again, all 3 goals as well. Poor defending.
Yeah.
All 3. What did you make of it?
Firstly, I'm over it. I'm not even thinking about it, to be quite honest with you. I haven't thought about it for the last few days. I'm taking the positives from it. I'm taking the good things that we did in the game out of it. And I'm looking at it and, you know, focusing on my head on the future. And
what's the positives?
Positives are the way that we're starting to play in patches. We can't play like that in patches. We've got to do it on a more consistent level. That's definitely one side of it. I watched the second goal again, 19 passes.
That was unbelievable.
And you know what makes me laugh?
Played out from the back.
Yeah,
which everyone was
that's what I'm on about. And what makes me laugh as well, can I just say, Sky done their goal of the weekend thing, and it wasn't even in one of the nominations. That says it all about your mindset. That's one of the best goals you'll see. Yeah,
because it's played out from the back, and it's 19 unanswered passes from Petr Cech
all the way
through the defense,
back to front.
And that's the thing. You know, I mean,
10 different players.
Previous week, people were moaning about playing it out from the back, and then our second goal comes from playing out from the back. And you see there the reason why this guy is trying to do this and trying to implement this sort of stuff. And there was Sam Allardyce was moaning the other day and saying, why are we playing the ball out from the back? That's why.
Yeah, I don't need to say nothing about him. Ty done enough. But I looked at, before the game started, I was watching them do the warm-up, and I was watching them, the way they were doing this movement from the middle out wide, and the player that was running wide was cutting the ball back. And I'd watched it in the last 2 games. I watched it at the Emirates against Man City, the way they were warming up and doing it. And in the Chelsea game was the first time I'd got to see them actually implementing that in a game. You look at the Aubameyang chance, the Mkhitaryan chance, the Iwobi chance, they were all from cutbacks. So it's something that they've clearly worked on over the last however many weeks, and then now slowly starting to get it. And, before the other day, I can't remember, since the Van Persie hat-trick that time, I think we scored 1 goal at Chelsea in how many years? But yet we could have easily scored 5 or 6 in the first half. We're opening teams up. And eventually, it's going to click. Eventually, it's going to click. And when it does, we're going to hurt people big time. And hopefully, it clicks this weekend.
And then the manager, he was off his touchline the whole game, really. Did you see the 2 things? Guendouzi, how angry he got when Aubameyang missed that chance. I mean, for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, because he started that move. It was him that put the pass through and split the defence open. So he's furious, and that kind of thing. Also, I'm hearing about Juan Carlos coming on the pitch at the end of the game.
That's what I was going to say with Torreira
as well. That's it. I said to you, that there were a couple of moments in that game where you can see that Torreira's still not up to speed and he's still learning the adaptation from Serie A to Premier League. But there were also a lot of moments in that Chelsea game where you went, yeah, he's going to be something. When he does get every bit right, he'll be fine, and you can see what he's got about him.
I think the other positive is Guendouzi.
Yeah, got to be.
Guendouzi, whichever.
It's got to be. He's stepping. This guy is 19 years old. At the end of the day, when we signed him, you know, we're all sitting there going, "Who's this guy? Why are we signing this lad?"
I knew him. I knew all about him, man.
Shut up,
L'Oreal.
Get out of it, man. Do you know what I mean? So when they mentioned that name, you thought they meant L'Oreal when you looked at his hair. But, you know, as soon as he came, you know, all the jokes started coming out, like B-Tech David Luiz and Sideshow Bob and all this kind of stuff.
By the way, I love that song by the Arsenal fans to David Luiz when they were singing to me, just a fake Guendouzi.
You know what I mean? And it was like, but it was really nice to see them two at the end as well.
Yeah.
There was a little thing, and Luiz was obviously putting his arm around him and giving him some words of encouragement and whatnot. But it was, you know, you're thinking senior players are going to step up, but they're not. And it's a kid that's stepping up. And at the end of the day, the way he's playing, it's just, you know, over the course of 2 games, he's had more touches than any other Arsenal player. He's one of these players as well that seems to be comfortable with the ball in tight situations. And if he gets put under pressure, he can draw fouls to release some pressure. His passing was very evident in the Chelsea game, the way he can just literally one pass can split. And he's very good at that. And that's what we were seeing in the YouTube videos leading up to us buying him and whatnot.
Battles, doesn't he?
Really battles. He's got a really good engine on him. So he's like he's a better version of El Neni. Because El Neni's his engine and his work rate is one of the best in the team. Unbelievable. But I feel now we've got someone with that kind of energy and that work rate, but with better ability on top of it, which is what we've been missing.
Do you know what he's sort of given us, right? Is something that we lacked a lot of last season. Is that player that can, from a deep position, create, and that's what Santi used to do. And that's why when Santi was not in the team, we so missed him because there was no creativity coming from deep. So teams could dispossess us there. But this kid, he's good on the ball. He's not scared to receive it in any position. He can receive it tight, and then his ability going forward and passing and stuff like that, it's unreal.
Yeah.
He's looking.
He needs width as well. I feel that he will benefit from having width, and that showed in the Chelsea game because we had width, and it was on both flanks for the game.
Yeah.
You know, beforehand we've kind of just. It's been a little bit unbalanced, and I do feel we're a team that need width, and last week that showed. And I think we caused more problems with that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Emery comes up with for this weekend with the West Ham game.
Negatives.
Defended. That's the negative. And it's always been our Achilles heel, our big problem.
This is what we bought. This new manager, that's surely in his job description, fix the defence.
But then,
we know that's been a big problem.
You know what, as well? The thing is that Gary Neville summed it up perfectly in Monday Night Football when he said that the first year, Emery's job is to suss out the players. When he came in, he will go, "You're not good enough immediately. I don't want you. Bye-bye. See you later." Then he will have players that are on the fringe, nearly out the door. And he'll go, "I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to suss you out this year because I think there might be a player inside there." And what he'll do is he will suss them out. And he will decide over the course of this year whether they're good enough to play for Arsenal Football Club and whether they're good enough to fit his style of play. And what Gary Neville said was 100% true. He should not adapt to the players should adapt to him. And never get off that, never change that. And he looks like the kind of guy that will never change that. Wow. He will stay very in control. You think of the first game, within 5 minutes of the second half, Aaron Ramsey, you're not doing your job, get off. I'd never, ever have seen that under Arsene Wenger. And I'm not wanting to bring him in as a comparison. I'm just saying that there were players that were, got a little bit more, than some others. Xhaka as well.
Xhaka hooked at half time.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on him, but I said last week, awful, really, really poor.
He was poor in that first half as well. The thing is, looking at it, is he going to fit the system? Because he obviously he does want to play out from the back. Now, when you play out from the back, the people that receive the ball in midfield, they then have to move that quickly.
Yeah.
And Xhaka against Chelsea was just so slow when he got the ball. He was just, you know...
It's not good.
And his positioning weren't great either. I mean...
It's like what we're saying. And, you know, Emery's going to suss them out. And he's showing them that if you're not pulling your weight, you're coming off. You know, Mesut Ozil, we took him off after 75 minutes. I would never have seen that under Arsene Wenger in a game of that size. Ozil would have been the one that stays on, and, you know, maybe a Guendouzi would have come off. He's the youngest one, he's inexperienced, we'll take him off. So it became so predictable. The amount of times I used to see the substitution ball go up in the 70th minute and you could go, he's coming off, he's coming off. You knew what was going on. Here, you're kind of sat there going, huh?
You're right, you know, because normally the first people to get hooked are like them youngsters, and it won't be would have come off. Guendouzi would have. I mean, Iwobi did eventually come off, but
I think that was the wrong decision.
Yeah, not until quite late in the game. Guendouzi stayed on. Yeah, I mean, he's you're right.
You can't really tell what's actually going to happen, and I see Torreira warming up at half time, and I was like, he's going to make a change at half time, and I think that it was to do with the performance itself. Also, Xhaka was on a yellow card, and Emery had seen enough, and he was like, "No, changing things up right now."
It's a bit naive. Was it a bit naive of Unai Emery to play such a high line at Chelsea? You know, both the opening 2 goals came from that high line. Particularly the second goal. You know, Mustafi completely isolated. I see people blaming that. I don't. I thought that was a great goal by
you know
Morata,
what?
and it's always hard when you're 1-on-1. And there's nobody to help you. You don't want to bring the player down because then you're going to give a penalty away and possibly you get sent off as well. It's not easy for a defender.
Well, if you give a penalty away, you don't get sent off no more for a professional foul. It's only outside the box.
Yeah, but that was in the box, wasn't it?
So I'm saying if Mustafi would have brought him down, it wouldn't have been a professional foul. That's the new rule. If you're making a genuine attempt to win the ball, which he was,
that's true.
Then it's not.
Then it's still open
it's
to
the double punishment,
double jeopardy thing. But it's still open to interpretation, so it's still very risky. But it's
Do you know what the thing is that I can see why they were pressing a bit higher because Morata hasn't got any pace.
He's not slow either.
I know, but he's not quick.
I wouldn't describe Morata as slow.
I wouldn't describe him as quick.
He's not lightning quick, but he's got pace.
You know, if you was playing a high line with someone on your shoulder, like Aubameyang, for example, then you'd be suicide.
Yeah, but you're playing a high line. They've got Pedro, who is very quick.
I know, and that's where they exploited it in the width.
Willian is very quick.
They
That's what I'm saying.
Was
that a mistake? You know, such a high line against a team with a lot of pace in it. You know, and
at the same time as well, the players need to be able to manage the game management.
Because even for that second goal, it was Mustafi who was completely isolated. No one was near him. Where was Socrates?
Where
was
the first goal?
Everybody was right down the other end of the pitch.
It's like the first goal, for example. This is what I talk about game management. Bellerin came inside to face up with one of the Chelsea, I can't remember what it was now, but he came inside. Nobody was talking to Mkhitaryan to telling him that he has to drop and cover. There's no game management. So the moment Bellerin came in, Chelsea went whoop, straight down that side. Thank you. And Mkhitaryan, by the time he realised, it was too late. And the defender's already over this way. Bellerin's come this way. It's about game management.
It's disappointing because, again, this is one thing that we haven't fixed yet. It's too easy to score against us. Those 2 goals that they scored, you were like, bloody hell, it's so easy. You know, they didn't have to, you know, our goals we had to...
Do you know what? The thing is, that first goal that I'm talking about there, this is what I said to you the other week about Hector Bellerin and about knowing when to go and when to stay. Now, he moved from right back position into the midfield area. He had no reason to do that.
But then Mkhitaryan's supposed to cover it.
No. But at the end of the day, right?
Because he's playing as a wing back.
But this is about when to know and when to go, right? And if you're going to go, you let your covering player know. Bellerin goes in watching the ball. It's ball watching. You know, and this is the problem. I feel that if Lichtsteiner was there, he would have either stayed and let someone else come across and cover that midfield area, or he would have let Mkhitaryan know, clear as day, you pull yourself back, then I'm going to move in.
But I felt,
it's game management.
But I felt in that game that at times, especially over that side with Mkhitaryan, he didn't offer any cover at all to Bellerin. And this, and we want Bellerin. And I thought Bellerin had a good game actually, because going, not defensively maybe, but going forwards, you didn't think he had a good game going forward. What are you looking at me like that for?
No.
You didn't think he had a good game going forward? I did.
He made one set-up.
He set up a goal. He was causing problems down that side.
He set up a goal?
Well, there was a set-up.
That was Mkhitaryan that crossed that for Iwobi. It was...
But
he created the Aubameyang chance. He created the Aubameyang chance.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, Jesus, my 7-year-old could have laid that pass on.
Oh, come on, man! What do you mean your 7-year-old could have laid it?
He went on
a good run. Use this pace, which we always want to see him do.
It's not good enough.
And then
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change my opinion on it. And I've said it already. I said it after the interview.
I thought he had a half decent game. At the time, I was like, yeah. When we was doing the player ratings, I was thinking to myself, yeah, he had a decent game, but defensively. But then when I looked at the goals, they weren't really his fault. There were Mkhitaryan's. Where was Mkhitaryan on that thing? It's all right for you to say he's got a tell. You're playing in a system with a wing back.
In the first half.
Hold on. You're playing a system with a wing back. You also got to be aware of what's going on. You can't just expect Bellerin to, cover me. I'm going inside.
He's not a wing back.
That's what. Huh?
We're playing as a flat 4. He's not a wing back. He's a right back.
But his job is to get up and down the wing.
But his job is also to cover. And listen, not just those incidents, not just those incidents, but countless times I saw Bellerin going up against either Willian or Pedro, right, on normal defensive situations, right, where it's not Mkhitaryan's fault. It's between the pair of them. And he was getting roasted every time. Pedro was skinning him.
I think Pedro at the start of the game roasted him once.
I'm telling you, where has Bellerin's pace gone? I put this tweet up the other day and I asked for help from vegans because I genuinely...
Okay, stop.
No.
Stop.
No.
Stop
I never... No. I never started pissing. I asked a genuine question. I said...
What was that? I
said... vegans out there and everything that are into sport and whatnot, I said, does becoming a vegan and that, have you noticed there any difference in like your speed and power? Is it has it affected
it should help
you?
Your speed because the reason why a lot of people go vegan is I think it's sporting wise anyway. It helps with reducing the body fat and stuff like that. A lot of people are vegan, said they feel more energized.
But he looks slower. He looks heavier.
In that game, he had a couple of...
No, he looks so slow,
That cutback with the Aubameyang, when he did that, he used blistering pace then. Went past his man, came in. I thought he did... He was causing a lot of problems.
He's a lot slower. I remember a couple of years ago, Pedro went through on goal at the Emirates when we won 3-0. And Bellerin gave him a 10-15 yard head start. And he absolutely blitzed him and won the ball back.
10-yard head start.
Don't you remember it? Don't you remember it when Pedro went through and Bellerin come fly? You remember
I don't think it was 10 yards.
Do you remember the incident with Bellerin at Swansea the other year when Gomez went through? I think it was, or someone, and Bellerin was miles behind, sprinting back and won it. It was a similar situation against Chelsea. After this, I'll get it up. Pedro had a 10 to 15 yard head start on Bellerin, going through on goal, and Bellerin blitzed him, slid across him, won the ball back, beautiful tackle. Bellerin's not got that sharpness and that pace no more. I swear to God, he's not got that pace. He looks slow.
He had a rough time last season. He wasn't at the great... I didn't think he played that badly.
I do. Do you know what someone actually messaged me about? Someone said someone gave me the actual aerodynamics and everything, and that his hair slows him down. I'm not even joking.
Somebody said his hair slows him down.
Yeah, because of...
Now the most ridiculous... So that means Willian won't be able to run either.
There you go.
David Luiz can't run.
Maybe that's why they don't tie it back. Maybe that's why, because it helps with the floating. It's...
Some rubbish sometimes, bro.
But he's no. Listen,
Oh,
at the end
my
of the day,
God.
I want to see Lichtsteiner in there, and I feel
Mm.
that it will bring some stability to the back line as well. I
Okay.
genuinely think it will, and I feel that he will talk to the defense. Although you've got Mustafi there, that's a World Cup winner and everything else, right?
Yeah, Bellerin gets a lot of blame for things that ain't his fault.
No, but listen, what I'm saying,
Right,
Lichtsteiner. What would you do this weekend? Would you have Lichtsteiner?
You know what? Later on, we're gonna do an 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do my 11. You do your 11.
All right, cool.
I'll reveal to you then. Yeah.
All right.
But I didn't think Bellerin had played that badly.
All right, let's move on then.
Well, let's get into that. It's West Ham this week, and
Yeah.
now after losing that game, listen, we've had the hardest possible start. Man City, we can see it how they're flying. Look what they did to Huddersfield. I was watching that game at home, man. We went like 3-0. I was like, oh, stuff this, man. Let me go and do something. Let me listen to some music, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Go and write a new album.
This is going to be murderation, man.
Oh,
they got absolutely
mate.
tonked about. They're looking so good, Man City.
Mm.
And obviously Chelsea, who started brilliantly, and that was always going to be hard going to Stamford Bridge, their first home game. All their fans really up for it. Those games are always going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
This game, this weekend, against West Ham. West Ham have lost their first 2 games as well, despite buying all these players and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a tough game because West Ham will come. They need to get something. But this is a must-win game.
Yeah, huge.
Must-win. Because everybody's like... The dangerous thing is I saw some fans saying, yeah, well, at least this week. But I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on.
I know.
West Ham have got some quality players.
I know.
Arnautovic, Hernandez,
Wilshere.
Wilshere. What's that? I forgot the Brazilian they bought from
I forgot his name, but Lucas Perez as well.
Lucas Perez. They've got players who are coming back with a point to prove.
I know. We've got to watch out.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game, but it's a must-win game.
It is because we want to get the points on the board. You know, you're thinking of some of the players there. I spoke to Jack Wilshere a couple of days ago, and stop doing this every time. It's like you with your sauce. It's like you with your sauce. My sauce from Germany's told me. But no, I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and I just said that, you know, no offense to, you know, this weekend and that. I said, I wish you well for the season and stuff. I said, but I hope we batter you on Saturday. And he was just saying, you know, it's going to feel weird coming back, but he's looking forward to it. Mm. And that was it, really. And he's got a point to prove, not to the fans, but to the club.
Did we treat him badly? The club, I'm saying.
No. I don't think we did. We stuck by him through years and years of injuries and problems. We're not talking about 1 or 2 weeks or a month or whatever out. We're talking seasons. He was out season after season, and we stuck by him, gave him another contract last time. An offer was on the table. Big contract was there. He's even said himself he was ready to sign it in January. Then Arsene Wenger got sacked. And then, you know, he wanted to wait just to see who the new manager was and what his ideas were. Emery said, you know, which I feel was fully justifiable, that you're not in my starting 11.
But Xhaka is.
But I'm saying this is Unai Emery to Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
No, but I take that up with him, not me. What I'm saying is that Unai Emery has said to Jack Wilshere, you're not in my starting 11, but you can stay, sign your new contract, and you can try and get your way in the team. And Wilshere's looked at it and thought, I'm getting no younger. I'm as fit as I ever have been. This is the longest run I've ever been on where I haven't picked up no major injuries and stuff like that. I want to play football. And he's looked at the situation and thought, maybe it's best that I do walk away and go and move on now. And it weren't an easy decision for him to make, but he's had to do it for footballing reasons. And fair play to him. And I don't think that we've treated him bad. And I don't think...
If you're saying to someone, you're not in my starting 11, and then Wilshere's looking at it and saying, boy, but Xhaka, who hasn't, to be fair, is not performed well since he's come to the clubs in the starting 11.
I know that.
Is that not treating a person bad?
Well, it depends who you... It's not that. It's just that maybe Emery sees each player individually in different areas. Maybe Wilshere wasn't wanted for that area. Maybe he doesn't suit Emery's style of player or, you know, profile or whatever. But he never disrespected him. No one, you know, Jack's even himself come out and said that Unai Emery was, you know, completely professional, really respectful, done everything that we should have done, you know, and we wished him well, and he's gone on to pastures new, and we wish him well. He'll get an unbelievable reception on Saturday, and I wish him nothing but the best for the future.
Giroud, the reception he got at Chelsea.
Now that pissed me off. See, this is the thing.
All the Arsenal fans singing his name and stuff.
Why
like
are you shrugging your shoulders over there as well? I'll tell you why.
Why did that
relax
piss you
yourself, right? Not
la, 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 la,
listen. Not the whole, you know, applauding him or whatever. This guy's about to come on and try and score against you. Don't sing his name. I had this discussion with you a while ago. No, listen to me. I had this discussion with you a while ago over Kieran Gibbs, right? When West Brom come to the Emirates. And Kieran Gibbs is taking corners, right? And West Brom were in the ascendancy. They were nearly scoring against us. You remember that game where they started off really well and could have... Yeah. And Kieran Gibbs is coming over to take corners to try and score against us. And they're piling the pressure on. And we're there singing his name. It's like, no, hold on a minute. No. Applaud the guy. Before the game, when his name's read out, or he comes running over to the corner and he's about to start the game, you applaud him and everything. It's the same. No, it's the same.
Take a corner. What are you going? Boo.
No, you're not going to boo him, but you don't need to sing his name. The guy is now playing against you.
No, but he's trying to sung his name once as he's coming on. It's almost like a recognition that, yo, you were a great servant at Arsenal, which he was, Giroud, right? You're a great servant. You always gave.
I just think they should applaud.
You always gave your all for us.
I just think you should
applaud. We're just showing you that we still like you, man.
I just
nobody
think,
sung his name once he got on the pitch.
No, I just think that it should be certain times. Like with the Chelsea game, for example, with Giroud, he came over to us at the end. Perfect. Applaud him. I applauded him, sung his name, appreciated everything he's done for the club. He wasn't what we wanted, but he done a great job while he was here, and he was underappreciated at times by most of us, including myself. And I thanked him, and that was it. I just feel that when you're in the heat of the battle, the man's about to come on. It was 2-2 at the time as well. He was warming up, preparing to come on to defeat us. You don't need to sing his name. That's just my opinion. I don't agree with that. And I brought this subject up with Kieran Gibbs, like I said before, and the same with Jack Wilshere. When he comes out to warm up, I'll applaud him. You know, if he comes over, like, with the way it's set up, he'll be the opposite end to me in the first half. So I'll wait till the second half and he's in our half, and then I'll applaud him. And
if he takes a corner.
No. If he takes a corner and that, then you just let him take the corner. I don't need to. You might give him a little clap over or something, but you don't need to sing his name, Super Jack, and all this and that. The man's trying to put a ball in the box to defeat you.
There's another player who's going to be on a mission on Saturday.
Lucas Perez.
That's Lucas Perez.
Yeah, I feel that he could be the more dangerous one, because with Jack, where it was, you know, he had the contract offer there, everything was in place, he didn't really want to go, all this kind of stuff in the years he's been here. With Lucas Perez, I feel that it was a point where he could have done anything. He could have been the best player on the planet during our pre-season tour to Singapore and whatever. He was getting shipped out the door.
So did you think we treated him badly?
I feel, yeah. I think we have. I feel he was treated badly with the past regime. I feel he was a panic buy. He was then scapegoated, taken, you know, all over the place, always on the bench, come on, always done a job, worked hard, never put a foot wrong. And then come the end of the season, he had his number taken off him without telling him. That's disrespectful. You know, sent on loan, comes back, works really hard, says all the right things, want to work hard, want to impress the new manager, want to stay at Arsenal, want to make it. Went to Singapore, wasn't even given a chance out there. So in that respect,
that's because they then knew that, you know, there was a load of clubs in wanting to buy him, so they didn't want to get him injured.
But then why take him? Shouldn't have took him in the first place.
No, but then probably before they took him, maybe those clubs hadn't come in, and maybe they were just like, you know, trying to get him fit. But then obviously he got over there, realised that, like West Ham, and there was a few other clubs.
I know. I actually think they took him to Singapore just to get him fit for those clubs that were signing.
Yeah, possibly they do stuff. They do stuff like that.
And that's, you know, that I feel that he's been wrongly treated. Again,
he's going to be on a mission.
Again, he's another player. He won't get badly treated by the fans on Saturday either. Because a lot of fans feel the same way that I do, that he was harshly treated and he was never given a fair opportunity. You know, when you think of some of the opportunities that some of the players have got in the areas he plays, makes you sit there and go, why? Why has he not had a fair, you know, crack at the whip?
Is he good enough though, Arsenal?
Well, do you know what? We've never really got the chance to see it, have we? You know, you talk about going back to Spain last year and he was poor goals wise, but he created the second most chances in the Liga behind Lionel Messi last year. So he wasn't as bad as people make out. When he played for Arsenal, like I said, whenever he came on, done the business, done well. Thought he done well. Remember his hat trick when we was absolutely frozen in Basel, wasn't it? It was freezing. And then this is another example. Scores a hat trick at Basel. Must be absolutely buzzing. Gets to the game at the weekend, he's on the bench.
Did treat him badly. Right?
Do you know what I mean? It's little things like that. You know, as a striker, you score a hat trick, you're thinking, boy, just sent my manager the best message I could possibly send a manager. Hat trick. What more do you want? I'm buzzing. I'm up here right now. Weekend, let's go. Now you're on the bench.
I know, he treated him badly, man.
You know what I mean?
So he's going to be on a mission. They've got some dangerous players. Arnautovic.
Yeah, he's dangerous as well. Guy, I can't wait to see him and Socrates.
That's going to be a confrontation.
Have you seen the video of them two when they played together?
No.
You've not seen the video of them two when they played together when they were training? And Socrates went into Arnautovic and Arnautovic was laying on the floor, like holding his head and that. And Socrates went up to him to just say, like, you're all right and everything. And Arnautovic has like pushed him away and Socrates has just gone to walk away from it. And then as he's halfway walking away, Arnautovic has obviously said something. Socrates has turned around, run back, went to grip him up, and there's a player in between, and Socrates has slapped him. And I was like, yeah!
Socrates is rough, mate.
Yeah, I know. I see that little clip the other day of Rudiger that was trying to get at Guendouzi. And Socrates just went in the middle and just pushing him out of the way, like, go away.
My German sauce.
Your German sauce?
My German sauce, who does right for Build, by the way. So he is right.
My German sauce.
He told me, he said, he goes, he's a hard man. He said, he goes, but he'll get a lot of yellow cards, which he has started getting already. But he goes,
has he got yellow cards yet?
He got a yellow card in the first game, didn't he? Didn't he get a yellow card on Saturday as well?
I can't even remember. I wasn't paying no attention.
He doesn't. He got a yellow card in the first game.
No.
He beat against City. Didn't he? Brought down a player, innit, when he was through.
I can't even remember, man. I can't remember. But no,
I like Socrates.
Yeah,
man.
I think he's done all right.
Pace than I thought.
I know. I said that to you.
You said that little run he did.
I thought that down the wing.
Yeah. I was like, jeez.
Thundering down the line.
Quite quick though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was thundering down the line, man. He was like.
Though he didn't get back very quickly.
No. I think he was absolutely shattered after that. But no,
I think he's a guy that I get the feeling Socrates is a guy who could grow into that defensive
I think
we have to remember he has just come in, hasn't he?
Do you know what? Socrates needs the kind of player next to him, like a Koscielny, with someone that's got the opposite to what he has, which is pace and stuff. I'm not saying Koscielny, right now, because I think he's deteriorated a lot over the last couple of years. I'm saying Koscielny from about 4 or 5 years ago, because you remember it used to work really well when it was Campbell and Toure. Sol Campbell's a big lump.
Yeah.
Not the smallest of guys. Bit, the way, he wasn't slow. But again, Campbell was one of them like Socrates where you think, oh, he ain't that fast. And then he was deceptively quite quick. And then next to him, he had someone that had power and was really quick and used to be able to cover when he wasn't. Yeah. And I feel that would be the perfect complement for Socrates, someone like that.
It's a big game, right? And I bought this little board here today.
Oh my God, what have you done? Look at this. No expense spared. Look at this.
If you listen to a podcast, you can't see this, but what I'm going to do is we spoke a little bit earlier about formation. Who would you play for the game? I'll write mine.
Man's actually bought a little board.
Yeah. I'll write mine and then...
Hold on a minute. Why have you only bought one board? Can I not have my own? Is it budget cuts?
Actually, next week for the budget, we need another board. So
yeah,
actually, you're right, because then you could write yours and
exactly. It could be like a game of Guess Who,
and then we just both.
We could sit here. Do you remember Guess Who?
No.
Don't you remember that game when you used to flip all the characters up on your side and you had to guess?
Oh yeah.
Guess who?
Guess who?
Yeah.
Guess who?
Does your player have fuzzy hair and look like Sideshow Bob? Yes. Okay, we know who's in midfield.
Right, I'm going to do mine. Right, so I'll do mine.
Are you gonna? Do you want me to like? No, look. I'll cover my eyes.
Yeah. Cover your eyes, right. So,
Wait, where's the set as well?
yeah, where's the set? I'll speak to the man whilst I'm writing.
Yeah, where's the set? Developing.
They have bought a load of stuff for the set. The set is starting to.
I like the mics, man. These are all right. I
these
feel
are
like Frank
proper
Sinatra. Gonna get my song on. Do you know what I mean? Do these bring back memories for you? When you was in the studio.
When I was in the studio.
When you was in it. That's the cook. That's a joke. Pissing himself over there.
Excuse my spelling on some of these if I've got them wrong.
I was waiting for some of your spelling.
Mkhitaryan, oh my god.
Just put Mickey, M-K-H-I.
MKH I put, right? Right. This is my team to play on Saturday. Right? Checking goal.
Keep on the mics, wait there.
Checking goal. I keep checking. I thought he had a great game against Chelsea. He's playing out from the back was better. He made some great saves in that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I keep Bellerin in. I thought Bellerin had a decent enough game for me to warrant him starting. I don't think he had like a poor game where I take him out of the team. Mustafi, Socrates, Monreal, who came back, played quite well, I thought, considering he's had no pre-season really. But in midfield, my change here, Torreira's got to come in for me. Torreira comes in for Xhaka. Guendouzi keeps his place. I'll have those two your holding guys.
Yeah.
Then Ozil as a number 10, creating in behind them and sort of a little bit of a free.
Those two should technically be there.
Sort of a
free. It's 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, okay. You can do.
Sorry.
Right. And then, Mkhitaryan. Yeah, you're right. Mkhitaryan here. Aubameyang here. And Lacazette starts for me. That's my starting. And it's a bit... I was thinking about whether I should play Mkhitaryan or if I should play Iwobi, because I thought Iwobi... I think Iwobi was the man of the match, but I'm just slightly erring on the side of Mkhitaryan.
Have you got anything to rub? Have we got like a professional rubber?
Here you go, look, see? You didn't know that, didn't you?
Oh, look at that! Oh, wait, what? You rubbed half of them out, man. I was going to use some of them.
Don't write your own thing, man. You know what I mean? Write your own thing.
It's like...
Well, you can't write?
Yeah, listen.
Right, let's see what his lineup is. We will do that next week. We get two, and then we reveal them at the same time, kind of thing. Actually, good idea. That. Glad to see you thinking, not just murdering people on Twitter and things like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just fancy that formation will do really, really well against West Ham. Bit of security in that midfield, though. But let's see what are you coming up with now? Oh, he's making a couple of changes there up top. Hurry up. He said a drawing competition. You done now? Is that it, yeah?
What?
Hurry up, man. Come on, people are watching this and listening to this.
All right, relax yourself, man.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Let me see. Show it. So, you've kept checking goal.
Yeah.
Well, I had a feeling that you might go Leno. All right? Steph. I wanted to see if you're going to write Lichtsteiner.
No!
All right, so Lichtsteiner, Socrates, Mustafi, Monreal. So you've gone for Lichtsteiner instead of Bellerin. I went for Bellerin. Then you've gone Torreira, Guendouzi, you've kept them in. Then Mkhitaryan. Oh, so basically it's the same team as what I've got, apart from you've gone with Lichtsteiner instead of Bellerin.
Yeah.
So we're close, isn't it? We're close on teams.
Yeah, and I've done my preview and my predicted 1 to 11, which is out today, incidentally. Probably be out by the time this comes out because he always takes
Promotion.
ages, so I got to promote it. Mr. DT, yeah. And I said as well the same thing, that it was a toss up between Mkhitaryan and Iwobi.
Yeah,
and I felt really bad actually taking Iwobi out because I was
The only reason,
really impressed with him.
The only reason I put Mkhitaryan in is because I was like, he's just a bit more clinical when it comes to if it's a goal scoring opportunity and that. So you know, DTFC.
DTFC.
But you know what? This we're trying this as a regular feature on the show, but this is yeah, you know, I'm quite close to this team. As I said, I'm just saying I keep Bellerin in.
No, I'll play Steph.
But listen, if you played Steph, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against that team. I could see why, because you're saying, right, more solidify up the back. But I just feel that with these two here, that offers a level of protection here anyway, if they do their job properly. And then allow Ozil to go forward. But we've got to have someone in that midfield that's going to deal with Jack. And, you know...
Because Jack's going to be driving through.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel that Guendouzi will be
But
key in this game as well. But it's an interesting
let
side.
us know what you think you're starting what your starting 11 is. We'd love to know what that is. But really, really looking forward to the game on Saturday. It's a must-win game. It really is. I can't believe I'm saying that after the third game of the season. But we do. If we don't, we start dropping loads of points off. You can already starting to see a pattern. There's two teams in Manchester City and Liverpool that are absolutely flying at the moment. They just look way above everybody else.
Yeah.
But if in that battle for the top four, I'd say Spurs have started well, obviously, as well, 2 wins, but they're playing
Manchester United.
This week. But then it's going to be, I think there's 2 places up for grabs in that top 4.
There is.
And it's between Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United.
Yeah.
Man United have not looked impressive so far this season, and they haven't had the difficult, Leicester and Brighton are not.
No.
Their first big test games-wise is with Spurs this weekend. And Spurs' big, massive test this week game-wise is
Man
United. So, it's, if we can get a win this week, it really just start to...
Because we've got a run of games now. I think we've got about 8 games before we play Liverpool.
Cardiff, we got Newcastle away. Everton will be tough.
Watford.
Yeah.
Both at home, Everton and Watford. Yeah. Cardiff, Newcastle are both away. Of course, the Europa then comes into play. And
so a run of games where the reality is we can really start regaining points and really start getting ourselves back in a good position.
Yeah. But we have to start doing it now.
We got to start with a win, and what would be good is an impressive win as well. Would be really nice.
Yeah,
to really get because I think these players, they've been playing the 2 games. There's been good moments.
Yeah,
and I think speaking to the majority of fans, both doing interviews after the game and also in speaking to fans in general, I think fans are kind of infused at the moment, even though we've lost 2 games. So
they're optimistic about what's happening.
We really need to try and get these 3 points this weekend.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks. Always a pleasure, mate.
Always, man.
Don't forget, Dollar Shave sponsoring the show today. The link is in the description. And you get an added discount if you quote that discount code, the AFTV one. So make sure you quote that. And looking forward to the game at the weekend. We'll be down there. Come up, do an interview, speak to us before the game. Really, really buzzing for this one. Arsenal versus West Ham. Jack Wilshere and Lucas Perez returning to the Emirates. We like both of them as players, but hopefully they're going to be both leaving disappointed. Hopefully. Thanks for watching.